A few years ago, you did something that felt amazing. You cut the cord. You canceled cable, watched that final bill disappear, and felt completely free. Then you signed up for Netflix,
And Disney.
and Max, and Hulu. And one more you genuinely forgot you're still paying for. And here's the punchline. This June, two giants, Paramount and Warner Bros., announced a $110 billion merger. Their goal? To glue all those channels back together. The cord you so triumphantly cut is quietly being tied back into one piece. And somehow, you're paying more than you ever did for cable. This is the story of how streaming promised to free you and rebuilt the exact thing you ran away from. Let's follow the money. To see the trick, you have to remember what was so awful about cable. One word: the bundle. A cable sold you 200 channels in one lump. You watched maybe 10 of them. But you paid for all 200 every single month. Then streaming showed up with a beautiful promise. Pay only for what you actually want. $8 a month. No contract. Cancel anytime. It felt like a revolution. The giant cable bundle blew apart into a dozen cheap little apps you could pick and choose. The experts even had a name for it: the Great Unbundling. For about 5 years, it was glorious. And then very slowly the bill started to climb. Watch what happened to one price. Netflix launched streaming at about $8 a month. Today the standard plan is around $18. It more than doubled. And it wasn't just Netflix. Disney Plus went from $7 to $19. Every service almost every year nudged the number up. One subscription is cheap, but nobody has one. The average household now juggles 4 or 5 of them just to watch everything they like. Add it all up, and the typical streaming home now spends around $80 a month. Here's the gut punch. A decent cable package, a decade ago, cost less than that. You escaped the bundle, and somehow ended up paying more. So, why does this keep happening? The answer is a piece of economics so powerful it's almost a law of nature. A show like Stranger Things costs hundreds of millions of dollars to make. But once it exists, streaming it to one more person costs basically nothing. That is the whole game. Enormous cost to make it. Almost zero cost to copy it. When something costs a fortune to build and nothing to share, there's only one way to win. Get as many people as humanly possible to split the bill. And the tool that splits a bill across the most people? A bundle. Unbundling was never going to last because the math always points back to bundling. But wait, if bundling always wins, why did these companies ever unbundle in the first place? One word: growth. For years, Wall Street didn't reward profit. It rewarded subscribers. Add more subscribers and your stock soared, even if you were losing money on every one. So they did. They spent insane amounts chasing you. Disney alone lost over $11 billion building its streaming service. On purpose. It was a land grab. Sign up the whole world first, worry about making money later. That's why everything was so cheap. You were the prize, not the customer. Then all at once, the growth stopped. There was no one left to sign up. And Wall Street changed its mind. It wanted profit.
Now.
The land grab had casualties. Spectacular, expensive ones. Quibi raised $1.75 billion for short shows made just for your phone. It lasted 6 months. CNN built a streaming service called CNN Plus. It cost around $300 million. It was dead in under a month. Add up the whole war, and the industry torched well over $100 billion fighting for your subscription. It was the most expensive land grab in entertainment history. And when the smoke cleared, every survivor reached for the same lifeline: the bundle. The moment the goal switched from growth to profit, the playbook flipped. And every move pointed the same direction. Back toward the bundle. First, the prices climbed, the part you already felt. Then came the ads, even on the plans you pay for. Then the password crackdown. And then the bundles came back, openly. Disney, Hulu, and Max are now sold as one discounted package. Sound familiar yet? Now the companies themselves are merging. Paramount and Warner. $110 billion to put their channels under one roof. Fewer, bigger companies selling you bigger, pricier bundles. Brick by brick, they are rebuilding cable. Here's how you know the cheap era is over. Remember when Netflix banned password sharing? Everyone swore they would cancel. Instead, Netflix added almost 30 million new subscribers in a single year. The most hated move in streaming turned out to be the most profitable, because they had finally proven the one thing that changes everything. You're not going to leave. You're hooked. And the moment a company knows you won't walk away, the generous era ends. Now it's time to squeeze. Let's put the two side by side honestly. Old cable, one big bill, around $90, full of channels you never watched, and you were locked in. The streaming endgame, a stack of bills around $80, full of apps you never open, now with ads, and getting harder to cancel. You didn't escape the bundle. You took it apart, carried the pieces across the room, and watched them slowly tape themselves back together. The cord was never really cut. It just grew back. And if you think this is some streaming-only weirdness, it isn't. This is a pendulum that has swung for a century. Music did the exact same dance. Albums bundled 12 songs to sell you the one you wanted. iTunes unbundled it, 99 cents a song. Then Spotify rebundled everything into one monthly fee. Bundle, unbundle, rebundle. Newspapers, telephone plans, cable, music, streaming. The same loop, over and over. Because the rule underneath never changes. When content costs a lot to make and nothing to copy, the bundle always, eventually wins. There's one more reason the bundle refuses to die. And it's the same reason it existed in the first place.
Sports.
In old cable, ESPN was the most expensive channel by far, around $10 a month, baked into everyone's bill. Even if you never watched a single game, sports is the perfect anchor. It's live, you can't really pirate it, and fans will pay almost anything. So sports quietly holds the whole bundle together. Now the streamers are in a bidding war for those same games, paying tens of billions. And to afford it, they need millions of you sharing the cost. They need a bundle. Live sports is the gravity at the center of all of it. And as long as the game is on, the bundle always finds its way back. So, what do you actually do about it? You can't beat the bundle, but you can stop letting it beat you. The trick is to stop being loyal. Subscribe to one service, binge what you want in a month, cancel and move to the next. Rotate, don't collect. Because the companies are betting on one thing, that canceling is annoying enough that you won't. Prove them wrong, and you win the game. Or, honestly, just make peace with it. The bundle was never a scam. It's gravity. And the cord was always going to grow back. So no, you never really cut the cord. You just snipped it into a dozen little pieces. And one merger at a time, they're tying it back together.